Kunkka or Rubik here. Rubik 5 then, or they're moving the Weaver.
Alright,
But,
that's... Yeah, I was thinking... Okay, so when I was talking about Queen of Pain being like a faster tempo, like mobile mid hero, in my mind I was thinking of offlaners like Beastmaster. Then I ruled it out because I was like, do they really want to pick Beastmaster into Kunkka safe lane? Because he's one of the nice carries that can deal with him in lane. But like, they picked it, so I will expand on my thought. Beastmaster is a hero that the way he plays in his game is that he likes to sit in his lane, potentially get help from the mid, and then they take the tower. And then what he does is he occupies the enemy jungle because he's very strong and able to do that. He has loads of summons, especially against Nyx and Bane. I think it's an absolutely incredible hero. Like, both of them suffer so badly against Beastmaster. So he's going to be able to play like that. And it means that he can just take that space on the map, and then Queen of Pain can do whatever she wants around it. She can come to him when he feels like his timing's right. He can like move to her on mid lane, take the mid tower there. Like, I just think these two heroes are really good together.
love your point, and I wanted to expand on it because earlier we talked about Beastmaster being a high win rate hero. I've been noticing this trend across all regions that Beastmaster has been an answer to this new trend of these lane winning carries like Kunkka and Razor. Because as you mentioned, he will take your tower no matter what. If some other offlaners will get pushed out of lane, will take too long to take tower, they can't expand the map, they need a lot of help. Beastmaster with Helm, doesn't matter if the lane didn't go too well, as long as the Helm comes around the same time, you will dominate that area of the map at one point. You're really, really strong. And a lot of teams are doing that both against Kunkka and Razor, even though the lane matchups are like bad, honestly, for both. So that's something that's we've seen a resurgence of, and could be the reason for the high win rate.
This is not that good of a Timbersaw game. Right?
Is the idea to maybe
Looks difficult.
to prevent what Sheeple said, but you rotate the Timbersaw bottom and you can kind of protect with him?
I feel like you can do that with Kunkka though.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit.
Or you could end up Tide, for example, does the same thing and better.
Yeah.
I just think like Quap, Rubik are both pretty good heroes against Timbersaw. Rubik steals, if he ever steals Chakram, right, then he's got like a big pure damage nuke against you, which feels really good. Quap had lots of magic burst damage and isn't threatened by Timbersaw ever. You know, like I think Weaver doesn't really care about Timbersaw at all. I don't know.
Just doesn't
like
see his carry matchup. Not that you necessarily need to, but the only thing I'm thinking about is that if Kunkka is safe lane and he's playing against Beastmaster, then what CIS rejects will attempt to do is bring heroes, whether that's like Weaver and Rubik or Queen of Pain, and they want to kill you, dive your tower, because otherwise he's just going to sit there continually pushing out, and it's going to be really hard for Beastmaster to like push in without help. So something that's nice to have in that scenario is a hero that can TP in and punish overextensions. So maybe Timbersaw with 6 is the hero that can do that. I would have maybe liked something else, but I don't really know what fits the bill in the off lane at least. I think Timbersaw's pretty alright for doing it.
Not with
Carry
Luna though.
range does magic damage. Timbersaw doesn't like this.
Yep. That's a really rough Timbersaw game.
Because stun as well against Timberchain is super annoying.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm curious if CIS rejects want to play Weaver or Rubik as 5. I know Aiden likes to play Rubik 5 on Liquid.
That's true, that's true. Aiden is insane here for those that you don't.
Oh, sorry.
Cool.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm so
Wow,
sorry.
look
Oh
at
no,
this.
please don't do
Knows
this.
the person,
No, don't do it to me.
uses their real name.
I was introduced to him as Aiden, so I've literally never thought of him in my
Yeah, I
brain
call
like
him
that.
Aiden.
Shut
It's
up!
'cause
I
we know
hate
each
you.
other in real life.
No.
We're cool like that. It's fine. I feel like a fair number of people know who Aiden is.
Thanks a lot.
I feel like a lot of people call them Aiden on like panel and stuff.
I just like to clarify because not all of us are so
Yeah,
privileged.
no, it's.
And we're not.
I've never met that man in my life. Don't associate me with him. Alright. Fantastic 5 needs something. That's
so-
okay.
That's not the something I would look for.
Who's
A Darkseer
their
mid?
I was about to say, who's their mid?
Well, it's Timbersaw.
Okay.
Timbersaw
Sure.
mid good against Quap.
I mean,
I don't know.
theoretically, Shadow Strike you heal it through, right? Shouldn't be too difficult. You can last hit creeps and you just ignore Quap, so it's like a farming lane.
I mean, it's a good Darkseer pick.
He fits the bill of the DK kind of hero that Queen of Pain hates playing against, right? Too much regen, I can't harass him too much. I mean, again, I've never seen this matchup, but I presume, right?
Maybe just Timbersaw with Iron Shell on him is going to be able to just run at these heroes and kill them. But as a balanced lineup, I think CIS Rejects is way better. Their ability to take over the map with Beastmaster, Queen of Pain helping do that, and then Luna is their Death Ball carry with that early game timing that allows them to just go get Rosh and go end the game. Bugs on Weaver, easy Rosh, easy game. Like their lineup looks to me way more well-rounded and solid with an actual clear synergy idea. It feels like Fantastic Five just keep picking heroes to like try and save whatever's happening there. I don't know.
Cap?
I ignore the middle heroes of Fantastic Five. Realm and Supernova better carry the hell out of this game for their team.
Okay, not much faith in Fantastic Five, but will we still get a fantastic game between them and CIS Rejects? We'll have to see. For this, we have two fantastic casters in Robnroll and Wingblade.
Yes, thank you for that. Coming into this game, looking at past performances here, Wingblade, we've seen CIS Rejects in the D2CL as well as coming through this, the DPC. They're just absolutely destroying everything. Fantastic Five, they're looking a little bit more, I don't know, rough around the edges. But have you been watching any of the pubs, seeing what any of these players are playing, you know, how they're performing?
I haven't been watching too many pubs, but I have watched quite a few CIS Rejects games in general. And although they're looking decent, they're still looking a little bit shaky. Like, I'm seeing some execution errors, some individual things, and it leaves me slightly worried for the Rejects. But of course, it does open up some nice opportunities for the Fantastic Five to come back into this group stage, maybe on the upper side of things.
Okay, well, looking at getting into this game, so we've got ourselves a Luna carry here on CIS Rejects as well. And coming up against the Kunkka. The Kunkka has been building popularity. And just these two heroes against each other, who do you think is going to be coming out on top? Because we saw Kunkka's absolutely delete squishy heroes like the Enchantress, so maybe looking to put that damage out up against heroes like the Weaver and the Rubik here. You know, but how can CIS Rejects control the fights and just keep the Kunkka away from these squishy heroes?
You know, there is a very good solution for this. It is a solution very specific to Dota 2, and it's called a Black King bar, and it really tends to help with maneuverability in fights. I know this is rare to see among carries, but it's actually a really good underrated item.
Okay, well, they are going to get themselves out, so it's just going to be 2 bounty runes each, it looks like. Oh, quick pause. As well, Valve got rid of this for pub games, but it looks like it is still prevalent in pros, as there is some FPS issues, so hopefully that won't take too long to get ourselves in. So yeah, looking at both of these lineups here, what do you think the power spike's going to be for both sides? Because you've talked about the Kunkka really coming online at the 20-minute mark. You know, is that something that CIS Rejects needs to play around, or do you think they have a lineup here that's going to be super powerful that it doesn't matter when the Kunkka comes online?
Usually I would say that a Beastmaster lineup is going to have a similar power spike. Because once Beastmaster gets that Helm of the Overlord, that is when he really wants to start getting active on the map. But looking at these lineups, I feel like there is a little bit more leniency for the Rejects. Because they do have the Luna and Queen of Pain, which are in their own right just extremely powerful late game heroes. Luna maybe not as much, especially against the Darkseer, who I have in the past seen completely demolish Lunas with Aghanims plus normal punch. But I do think that even with that, just having a Beastmaster Quop Luna is going to be enough for them to take the late game. So not too much time pressure on CIS Rejects, and definitely some pressure on Fantastic Five to make things happen.
Okay, well, Kunkka going to be dancing himself into the lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we've got ourselves Depressed Kid up against Marine. And looking at this lineup, we've talked about this before actually a couple of times. The Timbersaw against the Queen of Pain, you said there was no real lane winner coming into this. Is that still what you feel, or do you think that maybe one hero has the edge? Because we have seen Timbersaws force the Queen of Pains out of those lanes.
I mean, both heroes are still gonna farm. I don't think there is a lot of kill potential, but looking at what Timbersaw wants to achieve and why you would pick a Timber on mid, I think Quop comes out on top. Because you kind of want to pick Timber to bully people, and I don't think you can really bully a Quop unless she completely messes up and like goes for a level 6 build without Blink or something.
Okay, well, at the minute, the top lane, it looks like it's going to be Kunkka just having an alright time. You know, the Fade Bolts are going to start to come through onto Realm, so Realm might not have an easy time as he wanted to here, but just being able to sit back with the Tidebringer, you know, it's not going to put him in too much danger. It means that he's not going to be in danger of getting ganked from the balls coming up from the Beastmaster here as well. Realm, as well as Dara. How does this lane, how did he try and evolve this lane? Is it just going to be the normal, the Kunkka going into the jungle, just going for stacks, or do you think he sticks around on this lane a little bit longer?
I think he sticks around. Right now he takes a good amount of damage from boys and harassment, but as soon as he gets his Helm of Iron Will, he's gonna be pretty much fine. And I would say that usually the longer a Beastmaster lane goes on, the harder it's gonna be for Beastmaster's opponent. I don't think that's true in this case, because Tidebringer gets way stronger. Like both the cooldown gets reduced and the damage gets increased, so dealing with boys actually gets easier over time.
Okay, and the bottom lane as well, we're going to see an Impel coming through here, but it looks like FNG is going to be fine. Ramsey's stepping up top lane. Roger's going to get pretty darn low. Do they have enough to do it here? Was that brain sap any damage to follow up? Doesn't look like it actually, and well, Rubik will be out fine for now. As Roger just going to salve himself up, come back into this lane. Torrent does go on to Pasha, but Pasha, he's just going to be able to walk it up. Big tanky boy, and again, he's going to be looking towards his own Helm of the Helm of the Dominator, which shouldn't actually be too far out.
Yeah, it's just another, I mean, 1300 gold or something. Pretty close.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that's not too far out. Bottom lane, are they going to be able to chase away? It looks like Darkseid's going to be taking a lot of damage, but not enough on the kill potential, so he's just going to be able to surge himself out. Fadebolt does come through on the top lane now as well. Roger, the Tidebringer, doing a lot of damage there to Roger. Even at the early levels, Roger needs to be careful about how far forward he comes on this, just because if Realm gets the angles off, you know, Roger could be within kill range really quickly. As it looks like Depressed Kid in the mid lane, as well as Marine just trading out here, and Dimbasaur as well as the Queen of Pain just keeping it fairly even. It looks like.
I mean, Depressed Kid is on the road to going for a no blink level 6 build, but I have a feeling he's gonna get it at level 5 most likely.
Okay, and let's see what can they do on this bottom lane to try and get gank potential here? Because it's going to be a Nyx Assassin and a Darkseid. Does Ramses ever feel threatened on this lane?
I think so. If he oversteps his bounds for a moment and you have double Iron Shell ticking away at you, you can definitely die.
Out. Sorry, on the top lane, just watching, as it looks like the first blood will go the way of Dara though, with the brain sap onto Roger. Yeah, sorry, back to the bottom lane. You know, Swarm's going to come through here now as well. It looks like Nyx Assassin is going to be able to get himself out of this. The Surge, the Impale's not going to be on the mark now as well. It looks like the vacuum's going to come out onto FNG, so FNG will get the kill onto the Nyx Assassin. Going to be taking tower shots as well as damage from Supernova on his own. And Supernova will claim that kill. A little bit of revenge though.
Was that a BM pause? That's the question.
Hopefully not. I mean, you know, the spam and the friend lines, so this is all friendly. It's all good.
At least that's spamming voice lines in an allied chat to tilt your team instead of the enemy. That is acceptable.
Yeah, it looks like Realm is sitting on top of the last hit here with, the Timsaur as well as the Kunkka around 26, so he's keeping even with the Luna. Yeah, asking about the time, as he said, the CIS rejects aren't really too fussed. Because they can, and we've seen them drag these games so late. You know, we've a minimum of 50 minutes on every CIS game we've watched.
Yep.
Something like that. Spike Carapace comes out. We're gonna get another pause.
This could be a dead Nyx. He is in very deep. He already used his Carapace. He needs to hit his Impale on Luna, but even then, I'm not sure if he survives. Even Vacuum is on cooldown. Pretty spooky.
I mean, the Surge is there. He's got himself the Impale to go out. Did he want to? I mean, I suppose he could. Karen going FNG here as well.
Maybe with the Surge it's gonna be enough. I don't know, but it's just 3 seconds and Shikuchi is 4 seconds and also max movement speed. I think if Ramses gets in 2 hits, Nyx is dead. If he doesn't, Nyx survives. That's my official Wingblade certified prediction.
Okay, well, We'll see. Yeah, and looking at this, looking across both leagues, CIS Rejects are top of the board on the DPC. They're up there on the D2CL as well, so they are looking pretty strong. How do you think Fantastic Five go about stopping this? Just coming into the mid to late game, you know, is their power spike completely going to be on the Kunkka, or do they look for the Timbersaw? Because we usually see the Timbersaws being that early game impact hero, you know, rotating around with the kills. But on the mid lane, is that something that the Timbersaw is going to be looking for?
I think mid lane and off lane Timbersaw function very similarly, where they just want to abuse their strong laning and then try to carry that momentum.
Oh, Nyx will go down. He even just stops in his tracks, and FNG does get the kill though.
FNG taking all the kills. Classic position. What is he even this game? 5? 4?
5? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's somewhere in between, because he's a Weaver and Roger is a Rubik, so he's gonna get kills and farm anyway.
Praskit's just taking a little bit of pressure here from the Timbersaw. Coming through, Chakram is up now as well. The Praskit, like you say, he's not gone for the blink. He's actually level 6 and he doesn't have any points into the blink, so can't get himself easily away from when that Chakram comes out. And he's just going to be taking a lot of chip damage coming through. Meanwhile, in the bottom part of the map, FNG has gone in deep.
The Prestikit does have a skill point still. Ah, okay. He now skills up Blink. Quop is another one of those heroes where it's really nice to save up some skill points, and then depending on what you need, skill up abilities. If you need a Blink or an ulti to throw out.
We'll be able to do just a little bit of the stacks in the jungle. Looking at the bottom lane, it looks like Ramses has been left alone pretty much. Well, okay, there's going to be the re-rotation in from the Weaver. I think he's moving himself back over. But yeah, Ramses has been left alone for some solo XP. It looks like it is going to be the Dragon Lance coming out here for Ramses. He's already got himself the double band of Elven Skins coming through here as well. As it looks like they might even be able to go. The Swarm comes out now as well. Nyx, what's he going to be able to do? Does he have that spike parapet available? He does. Yeah, just look at it. Just from FNG, this position, what, 4.5, let's call it. So Nyx will be able to get himself away. But
just a casual 400 damage with like no mana or HP commitment. Seems pretty good.
Yeah. And the Weaver as well, he's already picked up the Urn. So this is the build that we usually see on the Weavers. You go for the Urn. Do you think he goes for the Sword Craft after the top lane? The boat's going to come through now onto... I think if that's going to kill, they do get the kill onto Roger with that boat. So good showing there for Realm. But yeah, do you think that the Weaver goes for something like a Solar Crest? Or is it going to be just straight into the Axe here for the Weaver?
I think we could see the Spirit Vessel, because he's against Timber Cell. And reducing that healing is really valuable. I think he has time to go for an item before Aghanims, because I don't think they're gonna get pressured so hard that they're gonna have to desperately win like 25-minute team fights. So he's gonna have a little bit of time to play around, go for some wacky builds.
And it looks like he's getting a bit of space as well. Roger's doing some D-ward and getting some stacking done. As well, Luna's already in the jungle looking for these stacks. Ramses has already moved himself in with the Dragon Lance. But rotation round, are they going to be able to make a move onto the Beastmaster in this top lane? Timbersaw is here. Realm doesn't have the boat for 13 seconds. Doesn't really have the mana for it now as well. The Timber Chain's going to be coming in. Pasha, X marks the spot, comes out. That's going to be the Roar onto the Kunkka. Kunkka going to throw off the timings for the just everything that he was trying to throw through there as well. But the Torrent, will it still come through? Pasha probably not even going to be needed here. So Pasha's going to get really low. Goes down to Dayra, picking up another, not easy, but well-earned kill there on the side of F5.
Pasha already got his HOD, nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, it's only going to slow him down for what, 20 seconds or so when he TPs himself back to the top lane? As it looks like on the bottom, are they going to be able to get the counter to Supernova? The Swarm comes out, Supernova's already used the search, so it's down for the next 13 seconds. Is he going to try and go here? FNG goes into Sakuchi, but the vacuum, didn't overcommit. Yeah, really well played there for FNG to know when he was diving, just a little bit too far.
It's so tempting to run into melee range with the Shikuchi.
Speaking about running into melee range, runs right up to the next assassin using that Sakuchi, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of damage onto the Nyx. Trying to bounce around now as well with the Moonblades. 3 points into those. Wall does come down, but maybe just as a little bit of a deterrent, a non-actual engagement there from Fantastic Five.
Just a zoning wall. Didn't even mean to hit that one.
Just a casual zoning wall, you know.
To be fair, wall is actually quite annoying to hit when you don't have vacuum, so I can't even flame Supernova.
Top lane, they might be able to make another move on to Pasha. Yeah, Torrent's going to be off the mark, but the Fiend's Grip will be used now as well. The bow's going to be thrown out into the Beastmaster Swarm, so the TP from FNG is going to come out, but the damage will still be there from Dara once again. As it looks like we're going to get ourselves a carry Bane. Looking up these the 4-0-0 on Dara so far.
Pasha 0-2 now. I guess this is why Cap wanted to kick him.
Oh, poor Pasha.
Feels bad, man.
And FNG's moving himself around, so there's going to be a free lane on the bottom lane, but Pasha coming back to this top lane now as well. The Roar is available. Do you think they try and make a move with the Swarm as well as the Boars? Try and just dive into the enemy jungle, maybe look for Dara, look for the Beastmaster. Sorry, for the Kunkka from the Beastmaster.
The Beast definitely wants to take the tier 1 first. You don't want to go for any kind of rotations before you've secured the tier 1. Afterwards, the jungle opens up, and that's when you can start being a bit more aggressive. For now, he's just gonna be a pushy boy. And similar thing is true for F5.
Yeah, they are putting pressure onto this bottom tier 1, as it looks like even the Timbersaur's rotated over here. Supernova as well as Timbersaur going to be able to deal with this tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. Do they just carry on going, putting the pressure on the map here? Because it looks like they want to try and group up as 5. Fantastic 5. And is this kind of now, even with the Fiend's Grip being down, do they want to try and group up for a team fight, try and force Luna out the jungle earlier? Oh, FNG comes up into 3 heroes. He's got the Sakuchi. I don't think they had the reveal. So FNG just gets out. 100% calculated there for FNG moving through his own jungle. Roger even gets the boat.
Oh, that is quite nice. Especially for these early team fights. It's a really nice steal there. And it looks like... Nah, there is no way Ramses wants to fight here, right? He has 2 points in Lucent Beam and no Eclipse.
You never know. They are looking to... I mean, they see Realm. Realm's going to be taking a couple of tower shots here. Depressed Kid has that double damage rune. It is about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through now. So, maybe not. But I think it's just playing protective, right? If Fantastic Five tried to make a dive on this tier 1, then you have most of the team around to help and protect and throw the damage out. As you can see, FNG on the bottom lane there as well. He's just trying to do his best to keep the pressure off onto this tier 2 tower, but it looks like Fantastic Five in the mid. They do want to go into this tier 1 tower now. The creep's going to be pulled behind Prescott, whereas the rest of the team, they are stacking up onto this. They might see the Weaver though. The pings are going to be coming through. No second to spot him. The Road does come out now with that bow. Is it going to be enough damage onto it? It's going to be the bolt onto the Kunkka himself. Sonic Wave, they're going to be able to get a kill. Wall gets dropped. Is he going to be able to do anything more with the Fiend's Grip now? Roger's going to be impaled. Do we have the damage to take him down? Roger looks like he might be able to get himself away. The Charcoal now. Supernova just gets enough damage, but Ramses, he's chasing forward to Prescott. There's going to be enough damage to take down too. Can they make it through? Dara's going to try and TP himself away. This creature comes out. Do they have enough damage to take him down? We'll be able to get himself away there. Marina on the back lines. There's going to be the Nightmare onto the Luna just to try and stop him in his tracks. And
that is very worrisome for F5. These are the fights that they want to be winning so they can get momentum to actually finish the game, because they don't really have pushing heroes. Which means that if they're not super far ahead, they're never going to be able to push. And currently they're 4k behind, so I wouldn't say they're very far ahead at all.
No, not with Luna as well as the Queen of Pain sitting on the top of the net worth chart. Ramses, I'm pretty sure this was like a 3 or 4 stack on the Ancients as well. So he is just going to be going straight towards that BKB after the Dragonlance coming through and the Asher there as well for Ramses, which is some early fight potential, which we just saw. And then the BKB, it just signals that CIS rejects, they're going to be comfortable taking these fights pre 20 minutes, pre, you know, massive item like you'd say on the Luna.
Yeah, for sure. Their execution there was really crisp. So if they can keep starting the fight by killing a core before he gets off any spells, I have full confidence that they can take fights, even against a Timber and a Kunkka that are supposed to be really strong at this point in the game.
Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, they might even be able to go into the Depressed Kid here, was that X marks the spot, will come out. Depressed Kid is going to be able to get himself away from this Torrent, the boat, all going to be channeled at the same time. But it looks like just timing that one perfectly now. The Swarm coming through. Timbersaw's going to try and chase onto this high 5, even being thrown out from Depressed Kid. Okay,
They
a little bit
really
of cheek
needed
there.
that kill.
Yeah, yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, in the Dire jungle even, it's not even inside his own jungle, Pasha. Just looking for the farm. He's going to be able to get the Helm of the Dominator out pretty early, going towards the Helm of the Overlord. So that's not going to be too far away, as well as Rubik, as well as Luna. Moving up here. Do they want to try and put pressure onto this tier 2 tower in the top lane? With the boars, with the Helm of the Dominator coming out, with Ramses having these bouncing Moonblades at level 4, is this the time that you maybe look to take this tier 2 tower?
I don't think you fully commit, but just by being here, you're putting pressure on the map. Which means that eventually someone's gonna have to come defend, and then you can make a play somewhere else, or potentially get a kill. I don't think you really fully commit to a push.
Yeah.
Just stick around here and make sure that the enemy has to respond at some point. And that is exactly what F5 is gonna do. Let's see who they run into first.
Yeah, they're gonna
It's
try
so
and go
hard.
for the 3-man
Like, how do
smoke,
you
but
invade a Beastmaster's jungle? And he has vision everywhere, and the moment you do, they just walk into Roche.
it's not even his jungle. It's the jungle.
Nah,
yeah.
this is Beastmaster's jungle.
A Beastmaster's alone. Luna has her jungle and the Beastmaster has his. It looks like they're going to try and go into this though. There's going to be the Lucid Beam. The Roar comes out onto the Timbersaw. The Eclipse going to be used. Are they going to be able to do enough damage? You're going to be able to get that Timber Chain away, but it's not going to be enough as Ramses does pick up that kill. Depressed Kid even taking down the next assassin with that Sonic Wave. And now they can just march themselves into Roche. Don't even need to do this fight. And FNG's not been with the team apart from that one team fight in the mid. And that's a free Roshan going the way of CIS rejects.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I have criticized them in the past for having a sloppy early game, but this looks crisp as hell. The way they use the map is pretty beautiful to look at right now.
Yeah, and Weaver, he did go for that Spirit Vessel, like I said, top lane. Oh, they're going to try and make a move here. The Impale comes out, so he's going to be on the balls. The Hawk scouting out as well, so it looks like Fantastic 5 just move themselves away, and FNG is just going to be free to farm up on this bottom lane. Not going to be being contested. Okay, Timbersaw's moving down now. So there might be a little bit of contest coming through FNG though. He's going to be able to get himself away from this. He has a time lapse as well if he gets into too much danger. And there's no lockdown onto the Timbersaw because he went for the Kaya and not the Yules.
Even with the Yules, this Timber is kind of useless at this point. He's lost his early game advantage, and he isn't even that farmed right now, so you can't do the classic Timbersaw thing where you just sit in a lane and wait for them to respond, because if they respond, you actually die.
Well, speaking about
So
response,
he's now a relatively tanky melee creep.
Yeah, Realm has himself the Shadow Blade. It looks like he's going to go towards the Silver Edge here on the Kunkka.
Might as well just buy a rapier.
Is that your official advice? Do we put the
think
Wingblade
so,
seal of
yeah.
approval on that?
Like, you need to make a crazy move, because CIS rejects are in a flow, and if this flow keeps going, they're just gonna lose further and further.
They really might have to lock down for him now. He still gets the time lapse off. The dust reveal. Are they going to be able to lock him down with the Nightmare? Fiend's Grip is available. Torrent's going to be coming through now as well with the Timber Chain. They do have enough damage, but that's the 4-hero rotation for a position 5 Weaver.
Yep, and Pasha's just farming in the jungle. Ramses is farming mid. Depressed Kid is also farming in the jungle, so by killing Weaver, I think they actually lost gold.
And Luna, it's going to be the BKB. What's it? It's straight into the Chrysalis. So that's extra damage. They're going to be able to find out the Queen of Pain. Depressed Kid, Aegis does get popped. Towards the TP rotation come through. So it's Ramses for now. Boat's going to be used on top of that. Aegis, do they have the damage to take him down? No. With the Eclipse being popped, this is going to be a death for the next assassin. Should be a death for the next assassin. No, the Spike Carapace, as well as the Torrent, keeps them both stunned. And Nyx just going to be able to get himself out with less than 200 health. In fact, he's still taken down. Does he go down to this?
Oh, goodness. Even
was
with
right
the
the first
Tranquil
time.
Boots.
Yeah. Timbersaw on the
Guess
top lane.
this is why you buy Kaya and Sanj plus double null tally.
Axes fly through. There is going to be a big TP rotation here from the Fantastic Five. Is he going to be enough to save the Timbersaw? The road does come through, so I'm going to connect onto Depressed. Depressed is going to be able to blink himself away. The X-Match spot going to be an early drag back. So they do get the kill onto the Queen of Pain. FNG has been revealed by the dust. Is there going to be any follow-up though? So it looks like Roger, what's he stolen? It's actually going to be the Impale. Good two-man Impale there coming through from the Rubik.
This is what happens when I start praising people. Maybe I should get back to flaming. Ramses going for a Silver Edge now. Nice. I mean, just a nice item for everything. If you want everything as a carry, you just buy a Silver Edge. It has damage, attack speed, mobility. Ah, it's so good. Even the break is insane against the Timber and Kunkka.
Do you think it's going to get changed in the next big balance patch? Because it does feel way too strong at the minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am pretty certain it's going to get changed. Maybe we'll even see another overhaul. Because Ice Frog hasn't really figured out what he wants with this item just yet. If you look at the changelog of the build-up and the effects, it's all over the place.
Okay, but for now, it looks like... Oh, Realm's going to move himself down. He's already picked up his own Silver Edge. So like we were talking about, it's a decent amount of damage, the attack speed coming through as well. Depressed Kid. Okay, we're just going to get a quick pause. Hopefully it won't be too long. But yeah, looking at these build-ups here, it's 8-8, but there's an 8k net worth lead on the side of CIS Rejects, item-wise as well. There's It's a little bit more, because the net worth from the Kunkka to the Luna, it's only about 3k in between. Looking at the win percentage, it's going 69% in favor of CIS Rejects. So, you know, some nice figures there for us to view. But yeah, the Luna's actually going to change your mind. Go for the Daedalus here on Ramses. Is this something that you think... Does that really make a difference? Because the break, like you say, would be nice on the Timbersaw. But is the Daedalus, is that just a more appealing option here for Luna? You know, what's the play? Why has he changed his mind from the Silver Edge to the Daedalus?
So the Daedalus is a bit nicer with his shard, which he did pick up. And break is very nice if Timber is actually a threat in fights. But I believe that this Timber would die before he even gets like 15 stacks of his reactive armor. So in this case, break isn't as good as it would be if it was like a really farmed Timbersaw standing between your tier 2 and tier 3. But it would still be nice. It's just not as nice this game, I think.
Okay. And look, speaking about the Timbersaw, he's not actually gonna go for the Bloodstone. It looks like he's got himself the Karen Sanj. Is that just some easy survivability here for him? Because, like you say, he's 2-1-2, but he is prone to having to engage, having to throw himself in the mix. So you know he doesn't want to be killed off too quick. Going into a low to sub after. It does Timbersaw now just need to worry about the survivability?
He always needs to worry about his survivability in this game. There is so much stun and damage on the side of this Radiant lineup. Like no item is gonna make you that huge threat that is unkillable.
Yeah.
So need to play a little bit differently. Of course you still want to buy tankiness items, because if you go all out damage you just get one shot. But you're gonna have to play a little bit more defensive.
Okay, and the push coming in on top now as well. We can see it stacking up. CIS Rejects just wanting to put the pressure on. It's going to force a couple of TPs. There's going to be the smoke rotation from Fantastic 5 as well. Are they going to be able to pick anyone out though? Roger is pretty far forward. What's he stole? Actually going to be the Timber Chain. So, okay, not the most amazing spell you could have taken from the Timbersaw, but it's not the worst.
It is one of the most fun spells to steal though.
A bit of Spider-Man roleplay going on in our Dota game. Yeah, I can see that.
And this is Dota's version of a grappling hook, and grappling hooks are fun in any situation.
Wouldn't the hook shot be our grappling hook?
guess they're similar, but Timber Chain works on like terrain, and Hookshot works on heroes, so it's two sides of the same coin.
So it depends if you want a really offensive grappling hook or just a utility grappling hook. There's going to be a 4-man rotation, 5-man rotation with the smoke as well as the Silver Edge coming through from the Kunkka. Are they going to be able to find anyone though? Because it looks like it's only Ramsey's.
Strange
FNG.
timing.
Yeah, they're going to be able to come in with big
can make
Bo's
it
going to be there
work.
as well. The Torrent, I think the Torrent was just a little bit off the mark. They do get the kill onto the Luna though. FNG, is he going to be able to get himself away? There's no dust reveal on FNG. So it was only Ramsey's that went down.
You see, sometimes you just need to do unpredictable stuff. Because Roche is not up. There isn't really a clear objective to take. Nyx was like 200 gold away from his blink. Kunkka didn't have his BKB yet. And that is when CIS Rejects didn't expect F5 to come. So that's when they came.
Yeah, and I mean, how can you expect your enemy to know what you're doing if you don't even really know what you're doing in these matches? No, maybe
I
that's a
wouldn't
little
go
bit
that
harsh.
far,
Yeah,
but
yeah, okay, they had a plan.
I do think the gist is correct there. Kunkka closing into his BKB. Ooh, Pasha needs to be careful, but he does have a sentry.
Yeah, big long rotation coming through from the next assassin, who's actually just got the tome in a stash as well in his backpack. So not using that just yet. But do they want to push forward here? Pasha, the sentry. It doesn't come past the second set of trees. So if he does come forward, you can see he's just hanging around the sentry. He doesn't want to put himself at risk. Waiting for the rest of his team to rotate in as Ramsey's put some pressure onto the bottom lane. Just a little bit of D-push there coming through from CIS Rejects on the bottom lane. But 4 heroes stacking up. In fact, they've got this really deep observer ward there as well. I think it saw the Nyx just before he blinked away.
And the lead has actually decreased a little bit right now. So F5 finding the farm somehow.
Yeah,
With the
and
BKB on Kunkka, they could actually take a fight potentially.
Roche is up as well. You can see both teams, they are starting to posture around this top half of the map, but the big man is there. If they want to try and, if either team want to try and make a move on him. Pasha just moves himself away from the Torrent. FNG is going to go in with the Sakuchi. How is he looking here? It's going to be the Soul Crest, so not straight into the Ags. The blink forward here from Depresskid as well. It looks like he wants the gold for the shard, but if they do take this next Roshan, this could be a free shard going away. As Ramses gets a kill onto the next assassin now as well. The roll comes out to the Kunkka. That's going to do his BKB down for the next like 5 seconds or so wasted. But the Fiend's Grip onto the Luna. The wall gets dropped now as well. Depresskid on the back lines. I think they'll be able to do the damage. That was a both stolen. Sonic Wave comes out once again. Ramses is going to try and run himself away with the BKB. Turns around with the clutch. Going to be doing a lot of damage to the Kunkka. And now the chase onto the Timbersaw. He's the last man standing. Will he get himself out of this? The lockdown coming through. Even the question mark there from the side of CIS Rejects. That was a really nice fight. Well, Roger, he got down to 10 health, but even still survives through that. Nobody on the side of CIS Rejects, though, got taken out. A full 5-man wipe. And Fantastic 5, how did they... what's the reply to this? Because CIS Rejects, they're just taking everything they want away from the other side of the map.
You wanna hear the honest reply?
Lie to me.
Okay, I think they still need that rapier on Kunkka. Because I don't think they're gonna be winning any fair 5v5 fights anytime soon, so either they need to consistently outplay CIS Rejects and read their every move and make sure you respond appropriately to every single map movement, or you need to buy a rapier and hope you win 2 fights in a row.
Yeah.
But again, rapier would still be very far away, and I'm not sure if he has the time to farm it up.
No, he does opt for the more sensible option in that Satanic. I say more sensible, it's the less fun option.
That's pretty rude, Rob.
Is it though? Am I lying? Is it less fun as the boat comes through onto the Weaver? The Weaver, the telekinesis from Roger now, and the roar on the backlines. They're going to be able to lock down this next assassin. Nyx not going to be able to get that spike Carapace off, and Pasha does claim the kill. So I think that's 4 out of the 5 heroes on the side of CIS Rejects with the Aghanim Shard. Beastmaster, Luna, yeah, Roger picks his up, and Queen of Pain bought that one out. So CIS Rejects with a lot of utility, a lot to play around here in these fights.
The Beastmaster shard is so much fun. It's like the kamikaze birds.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I just wonder how that came to be. Where you just have Beastmaster, the master of beasts, this primal dude in the jungle, just tying dynamite to his bird and being like, you know, when I give you the command, just dive on him. Sure, it's gonna be fine.
See, it's like, I think it's magpies in Australia, and I'm probably getting it wrong. It's probably something like crows in New Zealand, and I'm pretty sure, like, gods might be sitting there listening to this going like he's getting it completely wrong. But there is actually, let's say, a bird in the Australian or the New Zealand, whichever one it is, that dive bombs people on bikes. So people have to wear these helmets with the spiky helmets. Otherwise, they get dive bombed by these birds. I want to say it's magpies in Australia, but it could also be crows in New Zealand. But it is a thing. It is a thing that happens. Birds dive bombing people.
So the birds actually copied Dota? That's insane.
Yeah. IceFrog put this in, and then nature just changed its entire behavior.
Nature be crazy, yo.
But yeah, CIS Rejects pushing through onto this tier 3 tower. Up on the top lane, Ramsey's coming through. He does have the Aegis as well as the Manta Star. Manta Star just got used, so these illusions just going to be chipping away at the tier 3 tower. And Fantastic 5, what's the defensive options here for this? Because they've got to be wary of Pasha trying to push out into another lane with the Black Dragon. The damage coming through from Pasha alone onto different buildings. You know, you could be looking at losing 2 towers and just being pulled across both of them.
CIS Rejects can't really fully commit to a push against the Timbersaw and a Kunkka. Ooh, that scan doesn't quite hit anyone.
Radiant are scanning.
No, both of them just splitting the wickets between both teams. But Ramsey just says,
Yep.
why
That's a
do I need
sign.
to go anywhere? Just
Now tower is... Ooh, it's just gonna survive due to the glyph. I was gonna say, just in a straight up push, there is no way they can actually push, because there is so much D-push, and then F5 goes out of the base and loses their tower.
The lockdown onto the Luna now as well, but there's going to be the Xbox spot, both coming through. Normal punch onto the Luna. Luna, are they going to have to do enough damage to take this Aegis away? Never mind the second life here. Pasha gets the kill onto Supernova now as well. This is going to be the second life for Ramses. Ramses going to try and go into this. Does still hold the BKB. It looks like the Timbersaw wants to dive into the back lines. There's going to be a Lucent Beam here onto the Timbersaw. Do they have the damage even with this? It looks like it might be able to. Timber Chain away. One blinked forward, and Depresskid does claim the kill though. And Ramses, he's got that Manta Style back up. He can just carry on bouncing through. It's going to be a good vacuum back into the wall. For Ramses, just looking for the TP, anything to bring it back. Looks like Luna gonna be away fine. FNG, this isn't your base, but TP away. He's gonna be fine.
Gotta love
He's fine.
FNG. Let's see,
But
only Pasha was lost. And the Aegis, of course.
Yeah, and that was, what, 2 buybacks were forced out on the side of Fantastic 5? That's a really nice fight for the side of CIS Rejects. They took a tier 3 tower and doing damage to the range racks as well. And once Luna steps back up onto this lane, those glaives are going to bounce, and they're going to bounce between everything now that tier 3 tower's down.
I wonder if they're gonna commit for this this final set of racks on the top lane. Or if they're gonna wait for Roche. I guess Roche is a lot more likely. Because as I said, the Fantastic 5D push is quite strong, and wouldn't make a lot of sense for CIS Rejects to take such a risk when they have almost complete map control. It's always so tempting though when you have a Luna and you know Glyph is down, racks are exposed.
I mean, Luna at the minute, that was another thing in the game. It's just going to be an early... I say an early, you know, it's going to be going into the Satanic at 31 minutes in. Luna's pretty much getting 6 slotted here. Got a casual win lace as well, just for that extra movement speed. What do you do? Genuinely, what do you do up against this hero? Do you just need to focus, like, all of the ults, the Fiend's Grip, the bow, the wall being dropped on top? Is that just throw everything in the kitchen sink at the Luna here?
I think you want to drop the wall in the normal punch and then hope that no one focuses the illusions.
Yeah.
Because I think that is legitimately the best way to deal with Luna right now, because you don't want to man fight a Luna as a Kunkka, and Timbersaw can't really man fight either, even if the BKB were to get wasted by Ramses. Because Luna just hits too hard right now, even for a Timber Cell. So you kind of want to kill her team and then hope that the Darkseer illusions do work.
Yeah, and is this where the press kid just wants to be diving the back lines? Because, I mean, he does have that shard, so he has the silence on this. Is this just wait for the Fiend's Grip to be up and dive onto the Bane specifically to stop that? Or is this just you go on anyone that you see?
I think he just wants to do the highest amount of damage that he can. So he doesn't really have a specific target. If he can kill the Bane, that's great, but Nyx is fine as well. You don't really want to jump in solo, because his shard silence is less than 2 seconds, so you can't just jump in and kill a Bane, even with all of his damage. Actually, if he pops all his stuff, he's definitely gonna kill the Bane, because Bane has 1100 HP, and he has an E-Blade. So scratch that, just dive in, pop BKB, kill the Bane, easy. I'm used to Banes having like 1800 HP for no reason, but this Bane is only level 12 without any tankiness items.
Yeah, only really has the regen boots as well as the Aether Lens. This is a genuinely poor Bane. And even the Nyx Assassin really only regen boots and blink dagger. You know, okay, he's got a magic stick and a wind lace as well, but not really completing anything. Looking towards the Yules, but at 32 minutes in, both supports are half the net worth of the position 5 on the side of CIS Rejects. FNG, he's making a crack of it, going towards his Ags now, and the Soul Crest is up, the Spirit Vessel's up as well, so this is great fight potential, and a lot of damage just coming through from FNG with the Swarm and with the Soul Crest. If he finds another support, 1 versus 1, there's no reason he couldn't get a kill though. And now Ramses has the Satanic. Ramses is looking pretty unkillable at the minute to me.
Yep. And Roche could be up 1 minute from now. So maybe then the game will resume, because currently it's not technically paused, but it's kind of paused.
Yeah, both teams just respecting each other. Just taking
there we go. Now we're officially paused.
Presskid. Well, the Roshan clock won't carry on going down, but yeah, this is it. Presskid just having a little bit of trouble, it seems, at the minute, and hopefully it won't be too long. Maybe just a quick reset in. So, looking at the Kunkka. The Kunkka has the armor up, has that Satanic up there as well. Is this? Well, let's not even consider the Luna. You know, what does Realm want to be targeting in these fights? You know, what's the game plan for Realm? What are the shots called coming through here for Realm? Who does he need to be going on?
I mean, ideally you would want to kill the Beastmaster before he gets the roar off. Also because he provides so many auras. And that is still an option right now because FNG doesn't have his Aghanims. If he were to have the Aghanims, you definitely want to kill FNG first. And this is not taking into account the chance of killing someone like the Quop, because that's probably not gonna happen. So it isn't like a great realistic possibility to even consider. So I would say try and kill the Beast.
Yeah.
If you can kill the Rubik, that's fine too, but I think the Beast is priority.
I mean, we've not even really spoke about the Rubik, but the Rubik's been getting some clutch steals in. I think he stole the boat 2 or 3 times now. Got the Chakram as well, and it's just Rogers sitting on these back lines. He's just controlling the fight. You know, the little puppet master from the back lines. Yeah, no, he's played this really well. FNG, like you say, going towards the Ags as well, which is going to make at least somebody unstoppable. If they can get the Aegis out, a Cheese out there as well, then there could be the 3 heroes on the side of CIS Rejects. There's 0 kill potential on them.
Right? Yeah, I mean, there is a reason why I thought that Fantastic Five was on a little bit of a timer, and it's really showing right now.
Yeah.
Even their supports, they don't really have a lot of burst potential either. So if they were to go for a pick-off with like a Fiend's Grip in a side lane, there's gonna be plenty of time for CIS Rejects to like teleport to a shrine and save the hero in peril.
Does CIS Rejects even split up? Do they ever want to split push like that now? Or is this just we 5-man, we stay together?
Yep. I mean, there is no reason for them to split right now.
Yeah.
Fantastic Five can't leave the base, so the lane pressure is gonna be minimal. And they're plenty farm to finish the game. So sure, there's gonna be a little bit of splitting, but I don't think we're most likely not gonna be going back to a situation where there is just like one core on every single side lane farming.
Yeah.
Unless CIS Rejects messes up their Aegis push, because then we're gonna go into another semi-pause waiting for Roshan.
And like you say, at least 52 seconds before Roche is back up, and I'm just looking at the Darkseer's net worth as well. He's just above the Rubik on the side of CIS Rejects. The mid lane Timbersaw still 3k behind the Queen of Pain. You know, he's just above the off lane here on the side of CIS Rejects, and Luna's just absolutely shooting ahead, going towards that Skadi now as well. And this looks like it's just gonna, like you say, they've taken the complete map control away from the side of Fantastic Five, and I don't know how much longer Fantastic Five can hold out against this. They need to get one good fight, but like I say, where's that fight come from? Because I'm not seeing it myself. I'm genuinely not seeing it. Weaver building towards an Axe, like you say, it's going to be... I don't know. This is tough from Fantastic Five.
I mean, winning 4v5 is an option.
True, yeah. As Depresky does have 2 minutes left to get back into the game with his internet issues from the pause time. But
although, I mean, Pasha could probably just micro-depressed kit. It's just another creep with a few abilities, right?
Yeah. It's only, what, 5 more buttons? Yeah, that's not difficult at all.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, his own hero just has a single button, so
Yeah.
He just presses Roy and BKB. BKB is even optional. Just press Roy and it's gonna be fine.
Does he even need the axes at this point in the game? Did he ever need the axes in this game? Okay, well, we are going to be able to get ourselves back into this, and hopefully, Depressed Kids, he doesn't have any more internet issues, and he just keep himself going here, going towards, to start the Aether Lens. It looks like there is going to be a 4-man, 5-man rotation coming through here from Fantastic Five, the smoke out as well as the Silver Edge when he wants to pop it here from the Kunkka. Do they have any vision around this? They don't, so CIS Rejects might be in for a little bit of a surprise. Pasha is close, but those balls, there's going to be the blink forward here from the Timsaw. Tim Chain comes out now as well. Pasha's going to be locked down. Has that BKB? Might be able to turn this one around, because the Hawk did dive onto the Timbersaw, so that's going to be a decent amount of lockdown. And now they've locked down the next assassin. Telekinesis, the Ramses. He's going to try and get into this fight. The wall is going to be dropped, but look at these Moonglades just bouncing around everybody. Kunkka trying to man-fight this, and you said this was a bad idea. Just look at the Glaive bouncing vacuum comes back nowhere near the wall. Eclipse even in pots. That's a little bit of a celebratory one there now as well, as they lock down the Timbersaw. Timbersaw trying to get himself away with that flamethrower, but the damage won't be the rampage for Ramses.
Depressed kid trying to steal it. Not gonna happen.
No steals, kill secures. You know, we don't do kill steals in pro games, right?
Of course not.
That's what I'm told. We keep a positive mental attitude, and we just look for the kill secures. But yeah,
that kill was definitely secure.
Really nice fight from CIS Rejects, and with pretty much no buybacks available on the side of Fantastic Five on their cores, I think we're looking at this going the way of CIS Rejects, at least this first game.
They can finish if they want to. By this point, they should know that there are no buybacks.
Yeah, and look at these Moonglaive bounce. Just coming through everything here. Depresky just moved himself over to the creeps just to help put pressure on from the creep waves pushing in now as well. He's actually going to dive onto it. Did he have the kill onto the Bane? Nightmare comes out. He doesn't have that Fiend's grip, so once that wears off the Nightmare, it might be a Nightmare for Dara. But it looks like the Queen actually blinks into the other direction, gets the kill onto the next assassin. Nix. Yeah, really secure on some kills now as well. Dara, he's just going to go for a wonder. It looks like a Supernova. There's too much damage from Ramses. Yeah, Ramses looking to end this game now with a double kill, godlike spree going his way. CIS Rejects, they're going to put game number 1 in the bag. So, looking at this game, CIS Rejects, we've talked about them before, not really having the most secure early game, but here they were just on the ball from the get-go. Fantastic Five, any positives for them?
I am pleasantly surprised that Timbersaw managed to stay like relevant in terms of farm for so long, because from the get-go he was kind of behind the quad, but then we spoke about him at like 20-25 minutes. And he was only 3k behind, which I thought was decent. Same thing for the Kunkka. It's not like they're farming too poorly, it's just that the matchups and the draft in general just didn't quite work out for Fantastic Five.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can make any blanket statements about their execution as a whole, because I think this is mostly a drafting issue.
Okay, and going forward into that second game, do you think the Luna's going to get through? The Beastmaster, anything, you know, these big heroes that we usually see being removed first, second phase, do you think that Fantastic Five, they've maybe learned a little bit of a lesson here not to let these heroes through?
I think it's more likely that the Beast gets banned than the Luna, because Luna is a hero that you can counter with certain heroes. Darkseer is decent, but you would rather have a carry that has a good matchup against Luna, like Terrorblade or Troll or Lifestealer, those kinds of heroes. Because Kunkka really isn't that great. Because yeah, you have some kind of power spike, and if you go super late game, there is something to say for picking a Kunkka, but in just the straight up 1v1 30-minute matchup, it's kind of poor.
Yeah. So guys, that is going to be the first game, but we do have at least one more game to come after the break. We'll be getting back with the second game of CIS Rejects versus Fantastic Five. We'll see you then.